Alright, we're switching over to RTPMS and see if that will work any better.
Okay.
So we're not doing the packet sending version, we're doing the constant sending version. So I don't know if that's going to improve anything, but we'll see. Okay. Alright. So we talked about all that stuff for the loop break cross. It's going to be a left turn out of the second breakout. For the left turn out of the delta breakout for the delta flat pass. And then it'll be a left turn out of the delta flat pass to line up for the same takeoff runway for a right pitch up brake to land, so you'll stay on my left.
Roger.
The stagger will be right, and then we'll back taxi all the way down to the end of the runway, where we will turn off and do 180s for individual left 90s into chocks.
Sounds good.
Alright, anything else before we get started?
I think so.
Alright. Ready break, I'll switch inputs.
Thank you. Of course it's not.
BrotherLeb, you got me?
Lima Charlie.
Hold on. Try again.
Lima Charlie.
Gotcha. Alright, cool. Shutting that down. I have me. I have you on audio, and I have us both on visual as well. No drop frames yet, so let's pray.
Let's hope. I mean, the likelihood that we don't drop a single frame is unlikely, but
Very
anyway.
unlikely, but let's hope that it's a watchable stream, unlike the last two.
Bummer.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay. Let me know when you're ready to start, sir.
Okay, give me a moment here to adjust myself. Did a lot of things. Nope. Alright, and sure it's ready to unpause.
Alright, I'm pausing in 3, 2, 1, mark. Looks good.
Advise when ready for for startup.
Ready for startup.
Battery on, APU on, standby canopy. 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, red engine crank.
Up.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, right engine forward.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, left engine crank. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, left engine forward.
Leb.
Roll left.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, FCS.
Go for FCS.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. In test.
Leb same.
My HMD isn't on? I need to equip an HMD then.
Oh, right. Ha. That's my mistake.
You're good?
Copy.
I changed it for the look, but I forgot that that actually affects whether you're able to use it. Alright.
I could have not, but... And we can start training to that, but we haven't up to this point, so...
Yeah. I definitely don't use it as much as I used to. Like, I don't lean on it, I guess I should say.
Let's see. Chariot's FCS is go. Chariot's IFA is holding, DTC.
Leb.
Chariot's up, come 1. Or rather, Chariot's DTC is complete.
DTC complete. Up, trick on 1.
Discord check.
Good.
Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading 120. Check your altimeter set 29902 for an uncorrected center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your barrel warning 0. Check your FCS 12. 30 30 30 down 2. Check your fuel seat arm lights out.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Lab. Good afternoon, Chariot. Updated winds are 4 knots. Hold on, let me get the bearing for that. 4 knots 038. That is going to be a slight left headwind for takeoff and a slight left crosswind during the shift.
Yep, that's accurate.
Check your altimeter set 29902 for an uncorrected center point elevation of 150 feet above sea level and a current density altitude of 180 feet above sea level. Chariot Squawk 1205, Squawk 1206, you're cleared for takeoff, or rather you're cleared for taxi right out of Chalk's left on Alpha. Hold short runway 11.
Thanks, Lab. Cleared to taxi. Hold short runway 11.
What?
Solos were cleared to taxi. Check your parking brakes off. Chariot's powering up to 75%. Off brakes now. Chariot's coming right between on the right wing. Easing power to 60 and then roll.
What? Yeah, dude.
1 is on his side for me.
I wonder why that happens.
It's not a good sign for the lost frames, though. Whatever. I don't have mental space to worry about that anymore. BrotherLeb, go line abreast. Chariot's coming left. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Takeoff checks. Check your parking brake is off. Check your lights are off. Check your lane light is off. Check your flaps are auto. Check your correction. Check your flaps are half. My bad. Check your waypoint is correct in the box showing waypoint 2 at 2.6 miles. Check your altimeter set to radar and set to 2992. Check your sensors bypassing your C's arm. Check your heading. My heading 125.
What?
Check your parking brakes off. Charge powering up to 70%. Off brakes now. Able to detach.
Love to tap.
Coming left, okay. Little brakes, easy brakes, little brakes, brakes. Solos, we're clear for takeoff. Updated winds are 038 for 4. That's a headwind. Check your parking brakes off. Maneuver R, no flap, section blower go maneuver.
Level target.
Check your parking brakes off. Let's roll up. Brakes off now. Blowers ready now. A little pull. Ready, split. Roll. Rolling out. Gear flaps. Easing power. 270.
Contact.
285. Coming right. A little pull. 315. He's in the pull. 325. .340, easing power.
Here, TJ.
350, chariot. Ease and more, pull. That was weird. A little pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out. Takeoff checks.
Left.
Check your altimeter set to barometric and your gears up. Flaps are up. Landing light is off.
Left.
We're coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. Easing power. Easing more. Power. A little more. Pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out. Easing more power. We're in front of the crowd. Crowd right for the head-on.
Left.
Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out. We're gonna have to come back right. Coming back right. Ease in the pull. A little drive. Rolling out. A little more drive. Go, let it rest.
Left.
Ease in the drive. Adding power. We're 2 miles for the head-on.
Swap.
Not this time. Solos attached. Solos are clear. A little pull. Ease in the pull to level. On speed. Center point. Ready. Hit it. Smoke on. 380 mark.
Map.
Numbers.
Levels. Connect.
Looking good for center point, Leb.
Left.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chariot clear and clearing behind the crowd, rather, for the opposing knife edge. 1.8 mark.
Matt.
Good adjustments. I'll work on that one.
Lab is pretty slow. 3 miles mark. .5. At a 4 miles mark.
Let me know near beam.
A beam.
Let me know take a mark.
Go dig it.
Stand by, mark it.
.4 miles mark 420.
Chariot's in for the right knife edge.
Left and right. 3 miles mark 410.
On time.
.2 miles mark 401.
Smoke on.
Connect.
Connect swap. Ready, hit it. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Click.
Roll. Trace clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the inverted to inverted rolls. 1.7 mark.
Match. .3 miles mark.
A little behind.
4 miles mark.
Let me know near beam.
Beam.
Let me know take a mark.
Go dig it.
Stand by, mark it.
.4 miles mark 380.
Chariot's in for the left inverted.
Left and lever. 3 miles mark 398.
On time.
2 miles mark 404.
On time. Ready, hit it. So gone.
Connect.
Connect looking good. A little drive. Ready, hit it. Stand by, roll, and pull. 242.
Left.
Stand by, roll. Chariot clear and clearing behind the crowd for the Fortis. Come left, Tuck's coming down.
Contact.
365 easing power. 350. 340 easing more power, easing the pull and rolling out. Souls behind the crowd. Send up the Fortis. Chicken line lights on. 325. 320. 310.
Overshoot.
We're coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. Adding power. A little more pull. Stand by the gear. A little more pull. Adding power. Adding more power. We're at the 90 for the Fortis gear. 9 flap down, hook up order. So.
Leb's got 5 down, hook up order.
Coming further left. Adding more power. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The Fortis. 2.5. Adding a little more power. Chariot's rolling in.
Clear.
Outboard and low. Center point. Chariot's pushing out.
Left.
Rolling out. Coming back left. Set. Stand by the gear. Hook. BrotherLeb, knock it off.
Clear.
Chariot's clear and clearing behind the crowd for the MRT State 86.
Let's take 8-4.
Chariot circling 5 miles for the MRT. And Chariot's turning in 5 miles for the MRT. Four miles, Mark 353, working an angle. Three miles, Mark 351. Two miles, Mark 351 online. 1.5 MRT. 1 mile, Mark 352, easing power. Burners now. Ready, hit it! Good entry.
Flight controlled. Flight controlled.
Ease and the pull. Comes the pull. Pulling. And kicking. Chariot's pushing out. Leveling out 900. Coming right. Comes the pull.
Contact.
Ease in the pull. Run out. Smoke on. Smoke off. Easing power. A little pull. 310. 325. 340. Souls around the crowd, setting up the opposing MRT.
You have.
Chariot. 365. Coming right. Comes the pull. Little more pull. Looking for 062. Watch the mountain, ease in the pull and rolling out. The opposing MRT, 7 right, easing lots of power. A little pull to level 1.7 smoke on left lead.
Abeam, high. Power set.
Smoke off. Center point. Ready, hit it. Smoke on. 3 mark.
Little fat.
Numbers.
Contact.
Looking for center point, Leb.
Left.
I'm late. Merge. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll. Roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chair's clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing horizontal rolls. 2.5 mark.
Match.
Good adjustments.
.5. 4 miles.
Let me know near beam.
A beam.
Let me know take a mark.
I'll go ahead, Dick.
Stand by, mark up.
Leb's late. 4 miles. Mark 420.
Chair's in for the left horizontal rolls.
Left and left 420.
Standard clears.
Left. 3 miles. Mark 410. Two miles. Mark 400.
A little behind. Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact. A little pull. Ready. Hit it. Burners. Pull. Overshoot. Stand by. Roll. Burners. Pull. Ease in the pull. And rolling out. 8-0.
8-3.
Turns coming right. And circling by the crowd for the sneak to vertical state 6-8.
Let's stay 7. Have to watch that.
Yeah. Trace ease and power. Expect a late rejoin for the Delta breakout.
Check.
Trace turn in 5 miles for the sneak 2 vertical rolls. And Trace turning in 5 miles, sneak 2 vertical rolls between the boat and the piers.
Left.
4 miles, mark point 769.
Early.
3 miles, mark point 80.
On time.
2 miles, mark point 86.
Pull up, pull up.
1 mile, mark point 88, full burn.
Smoke out.
Cheers, clear 95.
Ready. Hit it. Stand by. Roll. Clear 10,000 clouds. No.
Clouds and factor, high show clears.
I know.
Cheers, circling at 3.5 for the solo loop.
But
Cheers, turn in 3.5 for the solo loop. 332.
left's clear 12.
Straight. Get that altitude down. Rolling out. Wings level, smoke on. Adding power. Up. We go. A little more pull. Adding power. Adding more power. A little more pull. Vertical 5-3. Easing power. Easing more power. A little ease. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Ease the pull. Adding power. Go, Diamond Stinger. Adding more power. Smoke off. Chariot attach. Chariot's attach, boss. Online. Let's go. Let me know your beam. Let me know where you take a mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it.
4 miles, mark 3.
Chariot's in for the left knife edge. Oh, sorry, left 4 point. Right 4 point, my gosh.
Correction, right 4.
A-firm, right 4 point.
2.5, mark 410. .5 mark 4.
Smoke on.
Got it.
Smoke off. Ready, hit it! 1, 2,
Roll right, roll right.
3, 4. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Good.
Roll. Chariot clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing vertical pitch 2 miles mark.
Bad.
Sorry about that.
Not your fault. 3 miles. Four miles, mark.
Lemon on your beam. 3, 3.
Beam.
Lemon on your take mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it.
4 miles, mark 39.
Chariot's in for the left vertical pitch.
Other than left, pitch.
50.
50. 3 miles, mark 401. Two miles, mark 404.
On time.
Pull up, pull up.
Smoke on.
Got it.
Connect that up. Ready, hit it. Center point. 60. Stand by, Earl, and pull. Power's idle. 45, 40, 35, 30. Horizon. Now 80.
70. Got it.
Contact looking good. A little pull. Ready. Hit it.
Roll left, roll left.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Chairs clear and clear behind the crowd for the inverted tug of roll.
Come left.
Contact.
360. 355. 350. Easy 50. Holding 350 rather. Or easable and rolling out.
You got 2 lub.
Left, souls behind the crowd, setting up the inverted tug of roll.
Chariot.
We're coming left. But further left a little pull. A little more pull. Souls to the 90 for the inverted tug of roll.
Chariot.
Easing the pull, easing some power and rolling out. Roll out a little faster. Up we go. Ready, hit it. Full inboard.
Smoke on. Damn it, Adam.
We're a little slow. Comes the drive. Ready, hit it.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by, roll. Rolling out. Coming left.
Left.
Contact.
Easing the hole and rolling out. Coming left 330. 340. A little more pull. Watch that tower. 360.
Clear.
370. Easing the pull. And rolling out. Easing some power. 385. Easy more power.
You'll have 2 lub.
Left. Power's at 380. So behind the crowd, setting up the section album.
Chariot.
We're coming left. Easing power coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Stand by the boards. A little further left. So is the 90 for the section left.
Chariot.
A little more left. A little more pull. Ease in the pull. Rolling out. The section half. Stand by the board support. We're coming back right just a touch. Little pull. 175. We're 3 right and a little outboard.
Good.
On 60.
Good.
8. Adding a little power. 155. A little more pull. 150. 145. 140. Pull into the set. And setting it. Adding a little power. A little more power. We're flying. Smoke on. A little more power.
Center point. Knock it off.
Left. Pull on a 60. Coming left.
Chariot's braking left, 265.
Contact.
280. 290. 300. Ease and some pull. 310, adding a little power. 325, easing power. Watch the mountain. Watch the tower. Ease the pull. Rolling out 350, holding.
You got to.
Chariot. Souls around the crowd, setting up the section breakout.
Left.
We're coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. We're at the 90 for the section breakout.
Left.
Ease in the pull and roll it out. Go on abreast.
Left.
The section breakout online. A little pull to level. Smoke on 1.5. 1 mile mark. 5 fast. Half mile mark. Ready, hit it! Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull. Ease in the pull, and run out. Easing power, 365.
Con.
Easing more power, 365. $355. Delta's behind the crowd, set up the Delta roll. Chariot 4-0.
Left 45. You got to.
Chariot. Coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Adding power. Adding more power. Easing power. We're left-hand turn for the Delta roll.
Left.
Easing more power. Ease in the pull. And roll it out. Easing more power. The Delta roll.
Left.
Smoke on. Up we go. A little more pull. Okay. Rolling out. A little pull. A little more pull. Coming back left. Rolling out a little bank. We're in left-hand turn for the flurry.
Left.
A little pull. Ease and some pull. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Ease in the pull and roll it out. Smoke off. The flirtily. Up. We go a little more pull, adding power. Smoke on. Ready to break.
Ready to roll.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. And pull.
Got it.
Got it.
Roll it.
Trace coming right. Pulling. Crossing your nose far at 430 mark.
Got it.
Ease a little power, 450. Comes the pull. .440, adding a little power.
You got to.
Smoke on. Ease in the pull. And roll it out. Up. We go a little more pull. Okay. Set. Okay. Set. Smoke off. Go get him.
Clip.
Correct.
2500, 380.
Correct.
We're coming right. 390 coming further right. Comes the pull. A little more pull. The Delta's in right hand turn for the loop break cross. Boss, 150.
Chariot 300, you got 6, boss.
Boss. Easing a little pull, coming a little further right. Easing more pull. Going out a little bank. Easing power. Comes a little pull to level. We're canted a little bit inboard. Rolling out. We're 200 low. And adding power up. We go a little more pull. Adding a little power, a little more pull. 448. Horizon now 90. Little ease comes the pull. Ready, right. 0.3 right, little more. Smoke up.
Pull up, pull up.
Oi.
4.5 Mark 47. 1 mile Mark 450. 1.5 Mark 430. 2 miles Mark 410. 2.5 Mark smoke on 400. And at 3 miles Mark up we go 1,600 feet. 4G Mark. 8 Alpha. Sorry. Horizon. Now 7-8 powers up. 45, 50, 55, 65. Rolling. Steep. 2.9, level in the nose. 2.5, Mark 4, 2.
Shit.
2 miles, Mark 395. 1.5, Mark 401. And a 1 mile, Mark 400. 0.5, Mark 401. Smoke. Off. Clear.
Just there.
Power's going way back. 370. 360. 350. There's 350.
Contact.
Ease in the pole. Rolling out. Come back just a touch right. And rolling out. Having a little power. 335. Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. A little more pull.
You got 6, boss.
Bah. Delta's in a left-hand turn for the Delta break. We're coming further left. Easing lots of power. A little more pull. Easing more power. Ease in the pull. And rolling out, easing more power. Smoke. We are about 5 left. Little right. Little pull. We're gonna pull through. Ready, break. Set. Smoke. Clear.
Chair's clear. 242 at 260, 1300.
Line.
Below you. Coming left. Smoke on.
Contact.
Smoke off. 280. $285. 290.
You got 6-1.
Boss. For the left-hand turn for the Delta flat pass. Easing some pull, coming further left. A little pull. Coming further left. Easing some power. A little more pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The Delta flat pass. Smoke on. We're in. Center point. Smoke off. Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull, adding power. Let's ease it out. Deedle deedle. Ease in the pull. Landing checks. Check your altimeter set to radar and your waypoint's 1. A little pull. Easing some power. Coming further left. A little pull. Easing some pull. Easing power. Smoke on. Coming further left. Coming further left. A little pull. Ease in the pull. And rolling out the right. Pitch a brake to land.
Right braking.
10 slow. Center point. Boss braking.
Let's rig it.
Ease in the pull. And rolling out 200.
Roll out 2.
Smoke off. Gear and flaps are in close.
Left.
Chariot's coming right. Gear down, flaps down, hook up.
Let's get enough hot tuck. Hook up, order.
Chariot's at the 90. Winds are 038 for 4. Stagger is right.
Stagger right.
240 leb. 220 leb overshoot. 200 leb. 180 leb idle. 160 leb. 140 all the way leb.
200. 180. 160. 140 all the way.
Sure, it's okay.
Hello. Okay, Jerry.
Chariot, landing checks.
What?
Check your stroke pressure off. Check your tabs. Check your flaps on. Check your landing lights off. Reset your trim and save your seat. We'll go well clear on our initial entry taxiway for individual left 90s and chocks. Stand by right cover wagon. Chariot's adding power to 73%. Off brakes now. Stand by cover wagon. Come left. Give me to on the left wing. Good flight, Leb.
Good flight, Jim. Well, I hope you had a good one.
Not particularly.
Soldier and boss.
Boss. Ready. Split. Reference a 30 knot cover wagon.
What?
And power to 75. And easy power to hold 30. Well, I definitely didn't struggle with being focused, but comm problems all over the place for me.
It's funny, I actually did struggle to keep focus. I was distracted by, like, things happening in the show, but I remember going outbound for one of the maneuvers, and I'm like, I'm really glad he's leading this, because I have no idea what comes next.
No, see, when I made that 4-point mistake, I knew exactly what was coming. I just couldn't say it. Part of that might be that I talked more today than I have in a hot minute at my job, so.
Lots of meetings.
Yeah. I basically did a seminar today.
Woof. It's kind of like performing that.
Really is. Ease part of 68. A little brakes. Easy brakes. A little more brakes. Off brakes now. Come right, can we turn the left wing?
Leb.
Coming further right. Trace adding power to 72 and letting it roll. Chariot's ease and power to 68, letting it roll. BrotherLeb go well clear.
Leb. Leb is clear.
I'll give you all the room in the world today. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Off brakes now. Coming left. Little brakes, easy brakes, little more brakes, off brakes now. Coming left for parking, okay. Little brakes, easy brakes, little brakes. Oh my gosh. Stand by canopy and engines. 3, 2, 1, mark. Oh, that was the best thing I've done in a while.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a show.
That is a show. Let's jump out and debrief this shenanigan. you have me? Wunderbar. Let me grab you on Discord here. You're a little quiet.
It's because my boom was not touching my lip.
Sweet. Good news. I only dropped 1.4% of the frames today.
Oh, that's good. So minor solution-ish?
No, I think it worked, actually.
Good.
Yeah. I think we are back to golden. So that's nice.
For sheezy.
Had to back off of HLS mode, but I guess it makes sense because my maximum upstream bandwidth is 40 megabits per second.
Yeah.
And I think that HLS is expecting to send, because I stream at 1200, is expecting to send like 60 megabits. Like,
Okay.
per
Yeah.
packet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not
That
great.
makes sense.
But, okay. Debrief time. Let's make this a quick one, shall we? Unless we, yeah, you know.
Last words. Yep. No,
Right.
I'm here for it.
Hold on a second. Gotta get DCS going with 2D mode. So we can watch
2D
this nonsense for a replay.
2D mode, it's for everyone.
Huh?
2D mode, it's for everyone.
Oh.
Sorry, music joke.
My gosh. What a man. Okay.
What a mighty good man. Yes, he is.
All right. Yeah, so that was a show at Novorossiysk. As far as I'm aware, there were no major safeties.
Same.
Cool. Goal for the show is to stay focused on the show. That happened, though you wouldn't know it. So, considering the fact that I still made a bunch of mistakes, I'd give that a B.
Solid, yeah. My goal was to fly good profiles for the loop break cross and the delta breakout, and for the most part, I think I did. Comms were a little funky on the delta breakout, or sorry, not delta breakout, on the loop break cross, but they were night and day better than the last show, so I will take that as C, just barely passing. Well, I guess maybe that'd be a D. I don't remember how grades work.
C.
My high school, C was passing.
C, yeah, that's, well, at most high-performing high schools, that is barely passing. Okay, cool. Let's get into the structured debrief then. There it is. Okay. The head-on, apply directly to the... Okay, so basically, the problem with this was I didn't get high enough in front of the crowd, so I couldn't see the thing. So that was a problem. And so because I couldn't sight it, I couldn't line us up well for it. And I don't actually have like a reference of which hill to go over to make that work either. And quite frankly, we should be like coming down into the box for this maneuver. And we should give the crowd more time to see us. And that didn't happen. So I think I'm going to have to fly a recce flight before our next one to see whether I can get this right. But I got it right in both of the recce flights that I did fly, so whatever. I'll fix it for next time. I'm glad we're still here. As far as the... What's
ground
it?
references.
Yeah, I know.
See if you can find some ground references.
As far as the rest of the opposing 360 is concerned, it felt pretty good. Yeah, I have no further notes on that.
Yeah, I felt pretty good as well. I was, the geometry was a little funny halfway through the turn, but we kind of made it work. So my major note, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, is I was very wide. I was very outboard of you on the hit. But aside from that, not terrible.
Amazing. All right. On to the knife edge. I felt like we made good adjustments from last time, and this one was relatively close to center point and on knife edge. I've got no further notes.
My major notes for the first probably 3 maneuvers is like my angles were just all over the place. I had put some little tugboats to try and get that right on the show line, and I guess just misjudged the magnetic deviation or something because they were not in the right spot. And then trying to like adjust it in my head instead of just flying the tape, just threw my brain for a loop. So my lineup was pretty bad. The actual hit was not so bad. Clear was kind of nasty, like not in a good way.
Same.
So definitely sloppy. But,
Same.
Yeah, no further notes there.
Cool. The diamond roll. Nope, we're not doing that. The inverted taco roll. That's not it either. The inverted roll is the maneuver that we're doing. This one felt a lot better than last time. My inverted was a little sloppy. But yeah, hit was like 4 right. And clears my crown were fine. So aside from my not getting the horizontal spacing right, which I'll fix for next time, no further notes.
Reference previous comments regarding reference previous comments regarding lineup. That is the note. There was a point at about the 1.5 mile mark right before we rolled in where I was like, I have got to fix this in the roll, otherwise we're gonna hit each other. I did, but not a great moment.
All right. The Fortis. So this one actually ended up working out because of the wind, but we were super low. By the time I rolled in and got settled, we were like 190. So that's actually below minimum altitude. So that is a safety, and I'll fix it for next time. I put a little bit of drive into it to get us back up to a decent altitude, so we ended up crossing center point at 230. And so the rollout and the clears and everything were fine. I decided to take the current number 5's clear for the MRT at this show site because I need to get up to about 2,000 feet anyway. So I did the yank and bank version of the clear. So that worked out. But it probably bled off, a good 1,000 pounds of fuel to get up to speed in for the MRT. But yeah, no further notes on this one.
A little overshoot on the rejoin, pretty good in the turn. Kind of dropped underneath you on the rollout, but was more or less matching bank angle, felt like. And then when you rolled in, it felt like compared to me you descended, so I was high for a bit and had to kind of come down, but otherwise been a pretty good spot, and I think I lined up the parallax a little better and more intentionally this time around, and that was actually thanks to the HMD which I said I don't normally use, and I don't, but this time I was paying more attention to it. No further notes.
Maneuver's turn. This was great. This is a really good one compared to the last one that I did at the show site, which was too fast. I ended up, before I pull across the show line, I ended up around 208. And 308. I think 305 is probably the sweet spot. So I'll take that. And the push out was good. Ended up being a little below 1,000 and then descended in the turn, so I had to bring some pull in. After we got rolled out from the turn, but I think that's more or less going to be what the profile is going to be for that maneuver. So at the show site, so no further notes.
Yep, it was a little late coming in for the hit, but this maneuver doesn't matter too much. But yeah, I'd like to be more beam of you, but I was also a lot faster than you, and you didn't pick up speed as quickly as you do at other show sites, and so then I ended up being pretty wide and pretty out ahead of you during the smoke on, which made the rejoin for the next maneuver hard. But the major note that I want to say and kind of put up my hand is that my brain, I don't know where it was, but like I was all over the place on my inbound numbers and profile, and so it's a wonder I was even in the ballpark. So I just was not focused yet, and it took about half of the show to realize that was happening and like mentally set myself. So it's kind of one of those hidden safeties, but I'll definitely take that one. I'm glad to be here.
All right, the opposing Novorossiysk turn. yeah, we pulled out behind the crowd good. We were about 7 right. And rolled out, pulled up to level, and handed off lead at about 1.6. Which is not a lot of time, but it didn't matter because you had somehow slung yourself up next to me, which was great. So you're pretty much online and in profile as we crossed crowd. I backed off to the back and then started crossing over you and didn't realize it until too late. So the roll, I don't know, it wouldn't have been safe in a real jet. This is where the wake turbulence would have destroyed me, probably.
Yeah, because you would have gotten an uncommanded something.
Yep, especially with the amount of performance that you're asking out of the jet. Yeah, I would have departed something. And that, as low as you are in that maneuver, it just was not safe. So I'll take a safety there. Because I was backing off so much, I was like very slow on the hit. So that meant that I had to widen out my turn in order to pick speed back up to come back in towards center point, which meant that I was late. So I added a bunch of power back in, and I think we actually crossed fairly decently. Probably still 3 to 4 left, but I still think that it was a pretty good recovery considering where we were when we made contact. And then the rolls were good and the clear was good. No further notes. I'm glad to be here.
Yep. I was able to get in and rerun around the corner and made that kind of work. And then I was got right in a beam. We were about 250 high, but given that we have to kind of come down behind the crowd, that's probably where that is going to be, unless we're going to be a little nose low, which didn't feel like a good idea because we weren't when you handed me the lead. Speed was good. I was a little slow in the beginning of the turn, but it kind of made that work, and then we ended up being early for some reason. I think it's probably because if I was slow, that meant I was probably like slightly tighter turn. But yeah, I pulled out some power, and you added up some power, and so we made that hit a lot closer to center point, which felt good. My clears were hot garbage. No further notes.
Horizontal rolls. I was trying to fix timing all the way into the box. Finally got it settled. And I think that we crossed more or less over center point, which is a miracle. Then I overshot the 80-degree mark. So I had to push it back out. And then but I leveled out at 8,000, so, whatever. But I'll fix it for next time, and no further notes.
Yep, I think I didn't pull quite enough for the hit, so I think I'm just going to be slightly low. But hopefully, because it's so far outboard, offshore, that won't affect it quite as much for the altitude. Yeah, and then I actually slightly undershot the 80, so I had to kind of add a little, like sort of sneak it up. Yeah, no further notes though. I think everything else was fine.
All right.
Might have been an overroll actually. Now I'm thinking about the 2 full AO run rolls, and I think I slightly overrolled it and had to correct that once we got wings level, which was again sloppy.
All right, we're on to the sneak pass. Because I didn't want to burn all my fuel up at the high end, I was slow for the first 4-mile call. I thought I might be able to gain that speed back in the descent, but it just didn't happen. So that made it difficult for you. But the rest of the parameter into the box and the clears were good. So I'll make sure to communicate clearly if I think I'm going to be late and slow to the 4-mile mark in the future. And I'll fix that. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to fix being early than late, so I was pretty much easy to fix, and I did. I was right on time. The only problem is that my clear was probably basically the behind crowd right heading. It was very, very awkward, but I was able to fix it for the rest of that. And I committed to it, so hopefully it looks okay. No further notes.
Line abreast loop was low and tight, so could just loosen it up a little bit more. No further notes there. Public 4-point. Here's my big safety where I just lost the comms brain. just like completely botched it. And finally got 4 point out. Then you clarified 4 point, and I said confirm. And at that point we were, or I said affirm, and then at that point we were way off on our comms. So it's a miracle. And also my angle for this was hot trash up until 1 mile. So like I was doing so much in the cockpit. And finally got it online. So it's a miracle that actually I think we hit more or less on center point. Like, it's a miracle that I even got there. It was so close to a no maneuver, dude. So close. Like, we smoked on, neither of us saw each other. I was like, this is about to go badly. I'm about to call it. And then you were like, contact. And I was like, contact. I was like, okay, cool. We can still do this. But, yeah, that's as close as you want to get. The clears were not super great because I was a little flustered. But aside from that, I'll fix the comms and my lineup. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, similar problems. My lineup was pretty bad. I was working a pretty gnarly angle, and then you had the comm thing, and then I was thinking about comms and angle, and so it didn't really improve. And then I was all over the place on my timing calls because things were all So I am with you. It's a wonder that we got even in the ballpark. You smoked on, I smoked on. I didn't see you, and I was like I was opening my mouth to say blind, and then I saw you and was able to call contact. Pretty gnarly safety in the middle of that. Inverted, I did not push at all. So big ol' drop of altitude. Betty's screaming her face off. Didn't die. Probably leveled out at about 150. So yeah, I'll fix that safety. I'm very glad to be here. And my clears were quite bad, but such is life. I've lived. So
Yep.
No further notes.
Vertical pitch. I got a little bit behind on my comm cadence, and also my speeds were a little bit all over the place. So we smoked on and contacted late, but it didn't matter because we crossed the center point, which was awesome. So pole 60 and the rollover and everything was fine. It looked like we were okay based on your position in on the horizon, but we ended up crossing like 5 right. So I don't know. That's kind of a bummer. So yeah, I'll be curious to see what you think about that. The clear behind crowd was fine. No further notes. Glad to be here.
All right, yeah. That's weird. My understanding of where center point is must not be right because it felt like, oh yeah, we hit pretty close to center point on that one. That felt good. I was going too fast coming down the hill at a certain point, so I pulled a bunch of power out to make sure that I didn't overspeed. And I was like, I'm gonna hit center point early. I'm nervous about this, but then it felt like it was a good hit to me. So it'll be very interesting to see what it looks like in the tape. There was something else in this that was just sloppy, but I don't remember what it is, so we'll just move on. Glad to be here.
All right, inverter takeover. Yeah, this was my form flying around the corner was fine. I ended up about to cross over your tail right before we hit, so I just did a little bit of an extra roll and ended up lining up more or less in the right spot. I thought I was settled, and then suddenly you once again shot up compared to me. So I'm pretty sure that was my fault for not catching the jet this time around. But I was able to get back into position, and I think this might be an okay hit. So it'll be very interesting to see what this looks like from the crowd. I don't think I hit the jet for the whole, time we were inverted, but I think I got in the right spot for the last quarter mile. And then the clears were fine, and clear behind the crowd was fine as well.
Yep. Turn was okay. Lineup was pretty good. My roll to inverted was not good, and I had to correct a lot of things to get stable. And so I think that's probably why you felt like I climbed, because I rolled out and then was nose low by like 3 degrees, and I was like, we're not high enough, and we're inverted, so I have to drive. but there's a lot of things going on, and so I should have probably called that, but I wasn't. There was, yeah, it was. So that's the safety that I'll take, and apologize for that. It's definitely something that I need to be careful of because there's a lot, like that's a very dangerous maneuver. So I will fix that one for next time. And I'm glad to be here. The rest of the maneuver felt pretty good. I forgot power on the way up the hill for the pull to 10 degrees, and so then I was behind that, like I was out of phase with you. So that will probably just not look super great clear. But yeah, as far as your lineup, based on what I'm used to seeing when, or like what sites I'm expecting, which might be wrong because we don't get it right often. It seemed like you were a little bit low and like a beam compared to slightly up, like my 2 o'clock and like in plane. But you know, we won't know until we save. So no further notes.
Yeah, I think that's going to be right at this show site because of how far away we are from the crowd. But anyway, the high alpha. Had a couple of lag moments in this. So okay, coming around the corner, I got a little sucked in the turn, and I just decided to stay there. Essentially, I was like, you know what, this is fine, and just hung out there, and then ended up kind of getting into essentially a beam position before the rollout. And got us rolled out and matched you pretty well into the box. I was a little low when we pulled to the set, so when you dropped the power, I just kept it in for a second to climb back up, and then I ended up getting pretty saddled. There was like a lag moment early on, but then I was able to fly pretty well next to you and got probably to my tightest comfortable position. And man, did we hang out on our tails for a hot minute. But yeah, the clear was fine, and yeah, the maneuver felt good. So roughly the notes.
Mm-hmm. It is a slight headwind. It's mostly a crosswind, like in front of crowd to behind crowd, but it's canted a little bit to left of the crowd. And so yeah, we pulled the set and we just was like, this is taking forever. Yeah, so my turn in was pretty good. I was able to make the adjustments or the field. I was able to site center point and make the adjustments I needed to make sure that we were online. We weren't going to fly. We weren't going to crowd violate. We were more or less the lineup felt all right. The pull to the set was earlier than normal, but then it took me a minute to kind of settle the VSI before I was comfortable in a smoke on call. So we pulled to the set at like 2.3 or so. We didn't smoke on until 1.8. So that's something I'd like to clean up a little bit. Also, yeah, we were climbing a little bit into it, and it took me a while to settle that. But by the time we got within the like last half before we hit center point, I was pretty dialed in. We were pancake flying for about 500 feet, which is what the objective altitude I think is. So that felt good. Clear was a little spooky. I was like, oh, whatever, the jet can handle it, and I wasn't like too slow. I let it build a little bit of speed, but then I just came right up and full burners, and then when I went to roll over, it just like I could tell it like almost stalled. So that was fun. But yeah, no further notes there.
That's funny. You're saying here this maneuver can be flown in either direction depending on the prevailing wind. I don't think they really care about that with the Super Hornets.
Yeah, and I think it's probably an FAA allowance. Particularly if the prevailing wind is significant. But I think I've only ever seen them do it right to left.
Dude, I've seen them do right to left in like 30-knot gusts from behind the jet. So I don't know, man. But anyway, because it's what's important in that maneuver is airspeed, and yeah.
Honestly, it's probably timing. Like, if you fly it the other direction, then like, how do you get set up for the next thing?
Yeah.
I mean, you just basically not do the section rejoin, and you just kind of circle way back behind crowd, and then grab the diamond when they come out of the, what is it, the diamond 360 or the burner 270?
Yeah, you essentially, you'd have to like, you'd essentially just like do a big loop crowd left, and then like rejoin after they're done with the burner 270. So you could probably just do another head-on, essentially, and then rejoin that way. But anyway, I digress. The rejoin for the Burner 270. This one was actually online, which is wild. We were 10 slow, but I didn't want to touch it because it was a little bit, like, complicated to get online at 1.5 miles. I was like, you know what? 10 slow is fine. We're not going to add another variable into this. Yeah, the pull-up was fine, and the clear behind the crowd was fine. No further notes.
Yeah, I was able to get right in. Turn was good. Rollout was pretty good. The last, like, 30 degrees or so, I can't remember if you pulled the level, or there was some, like, call that I didn't catch on time, and so I got out of plane and was pretty sad about it. So it took basically until the last half mile to get actually a beam and on altitude, and that was just not what I wanted. Yeah, no further notes though.
Alright, Delta roll. We lost a ton of speed climbing up the hill behind the crowd, so I had to do some funky speed calls in the middle of this turn to make sure we didn't die. So that was not great, and I'll fix it for next time. But aside from that, the profile lining up felt pretty good. We went up the hill at about 370 and started our rollover at 345, so that was pretty good. Those are pretty decent numbers for this maneuver at the show site. So yeah, the roll was fairly measured and slow and relatively high. We dipped down in front of the hill and then pulled back up over the top of the hill, which is exactly what I talked about that I wanted to do for this show last time. So that was, I consider this Delta roll from a leadership standpoint to be a relative success. We'll get into the turn for the fleur-de-lis, which was less so, next time. No further notes.
Next time on Nova. Yeah, rejoin was alright, but I could tell that I just wasn't comfortable in formation, so I was like, I'm gonna fly, clear, and just, try to stay in and not be dangerous, which was a good decision. The losing of the speed, I didn't notice the speed, obviously, but what I did notice was that the jet got really, like, wallowy. And so I was, like, trying to fly form, and I was just like, this is really hard. And then you were, like, adding power, and I was like, oh, yeah, we're almost 300 knots. So that was kind of funny. Yeah, coming in, I was able to more or less get in the right spot and follow you up the hill, match bank angle, first 30 or 40. It's almost to the 90. And then once we got to the 90, I climbed over your wing a little bit. I think it's because of like the weight transfer or something. And in order to prevent like that problem increasing, I had to ease some pull, which then threw me out wide, and then I couldn't get back in. So I smoked off and just flew well clear for the rest of the maneuver, and got back in once you leveled out. Not leveled out, world wings level, and we're pulling to level out. Yeah, so that's a bummer. I have to figure out how to fix that problem because it happens with some frequency, and it can't. There will be times where I will start to climb over the wing. I could probably arrest it a little earlier than I did, but I need to figure out what the solution is for that, and I don't currently have one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, I will fix that safety, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's funny. I was like behind the crowd, and we rolled over left, and I was like, a little pull, and just keep saying that, and then I'm looking at the G, and it goes up to 1.8, and then drops to 1.7. I was still pulling more, and I'm like, why is this happening? And I'm like, oh, because we're doing 310 knots, so there's not enough airspeed to have the G that I'm looking for. Let's add some power. Anyway. Okay, the turn for the fleur-de-lis. We were quite nose high for the beginning of this turn, and what I should have done is added some power, but I didn't want to add too much power and have us be too fast for the fleur-de-lis itself, because that has happened before. So I didn't add power, and just decided to do everything with, like, bank angle. This is a bad idea, so note for next time. You fix it with power. So, our lineup ended up being okay, but I had to add a bunch of pull-in at the back end of the maneuver, and I forgot to smoke off at the, as we were coming around the corner. And I was so focused on trying to get the lamp right, and then the rollout was really fast, and that wasn't good. And then we weren't fast enough to go up the hill, and we were a little nose low, and we started going up the hill. It was not great. And then once we actually split, I didn't quite get to the 45, so that stank. And we roll inverted, and then the rest of the maneuver actually was fine. The pulling behind the crowd was fine. I made sure to give us enough clearance over that stinking condo. That's like right where we want to be. So yeah, that looked fine. We pulled up at the right spots over the boat. And the sets were good, and we actually gained and lost enough altitude to spit us out low enough and in the right spot to more or less be on profile for what we do at other show sites. So, second half of the maneuver, I'll take a big, good adjustments. The first half of the maneuver, I'll take a, dude, no, try it better next time. I'll fix my safety, so I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, kind of like what happened the last time we did this show a week ago. I flew a pretty garbo double roll and then a pretty decent turn for the flare. That said, on the rollout, I was all over the place and pretty full EIO, so that could definitely fix that for the future. I couldn't remember what angle we had decided on for the bank and the split, so I rolled to 45, but I was like, I don't remember, did I 60 or 45? So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I was like, I don't remember. And then I pulled a bunch of power out in the turn, so that way I didn't have what happened last time happen, and that was a good idea, except for the fact that I had low fuel, and so I had to modulate that a little more. Because I was back down like 320, and then you're crossing my nose at like 430 or something.
Yep.
Oh, great. Now, I kind of noticed that I was able to, like, before you crossed, I was already on the burners and probably back out close to 380, but still, there's a small problem that I can anticipate. But I was able to get in early, which felt good, and that way I could kind of be on the lookout for the Visa condo. It's everywhere you want to be. And then I was great over the top, so that was awesome.
Nice.
All right, transitioning over to the Loop Cross. I don't know if it's the show site angle or something about the way that the bay looks, but I bring in Paul to make sure that we get online, and I've often missed it to come back left. I have the opposite problem with this show site, where like I've got angles left to still come toward, and I just don't have enough turn left to fix that. So last couple of shows I've been pointed toward crowd, just like by less than 10 degrees, but when we go for the loop, and I would like to fix that the next show. Other than that, the profile was pretty good. I didn't ease over the top at all, and I should have, because we ended up being about 0.3 right. No, because if I'd eased, then we would have been further right. So I actually did the right thing. So probably has something to do with power and when we went up the hill. I was working a couple of variables at that point that I didn't want to react too fast. So there's definitely room for improvement. It was better than last time by quite a bit. I think more predictable, but certainly not even in the ballpark of right and far from perfect. So definitely room for improvement there. Outbound calls were okay. For reference, I don't get to 2,000 feet. I only got to 1,600 feet before I went up the hill at 3 miles. Speed calls for the first probably 2 miles were all over the place because I was carrying a bag of knots. I was doing that kind of on purpose. We knew that you were going to be like way the heck out to the right, but I don't know if that's the way I should approach that problem. So thanks all those safeties. Glad to be here. Hits were great. You flew a really good maneuver.
So you think. All right. So once we split, once we got him, I rolled over and you were under me. So did a bunch of push and some weird stuff that you're not supposed to do in the jet, which is fine. It's a sim. I'll live. To get rejoined and actually rejoined just fine. Over the top, got a little behind. I got a little sucked and had to like correct it, but that was okay. When we broke, we pulled out and I leveled out at 380 feet, which ain't great. So I was working it way up to try and get up to somewhere higher because I stopped paying attention to that real fast because I was like a mile and a half ahead. So I like dropped it all the way down to 320 knots and then put it into mil, and then I was probably at 3.8 when, sorry, not 3.8. I was like, no, I was like 3.4 when you said up we go. And tried to match your 4G, got there, and then like you didn't call your vertical.
Right. I should have. That was a safety. I should fix that for next time. I'm glad to be here.
You didn't call your vertical, and so like by the time you said 8 alpha, I was like still at like 6 alpha, and so I just full on just backsticked the thing all the way over, crossed horizon about when you did. But I knew I was still super high and super far away from the show, so I pulled it all the way down to 65 right then and there and rolled over. I ended up working out because when we pulled out, you said 2.5 and I was at 3.2. So I put that thing into mill and just milled all the way in to the cross at 500 knots. Dude, I was cooking. I crossed at 550 knots.
I saw you playing speed. I saw you coming out of the corner when I didn't see you, and I can't always tell what your speed is the moment you're slow. Because you're trying to not beat me to center point, and you can just kind of see you like floating your way in. But you're just like, man, this parallax looking funny. Something's up about this.
Dude, I was ripping. But hey, I made the hit at work at center point, and I didn't have to have any burners to go around the corner. So it worked out. Yeah, so, honestly, I don't think I had any safeties in that maneuver. It was just weird. I mean, yeah, no further notes. See you next time.
Yeah. One of the weird things about maneuver is that, like, no matter all the different times I fly it, and I've done it some really bad profiles of that. I almost always hit Ryzen inverted at 7.8. Like without fail. It's wild. Anyway, don't bring it. So after excitement of the loop across, the breakout was pretty docile. Most of these bits were fine. I was able to set a point pretty early. I just, because we're pulling a bunch of power out that actually and a little bit of fallout as well, so we kind of descend down the hill without doing drive like I avoid it. That actually increases our turn radius. And I did not account for that in the first show or this board, so that we ended up being, I don't know, I guess it goes about 6 right, canted, right, and also just a little bit left of point and 6 point. I kind of begged you a little bit to call this to try to like get a little bit closer to the center point as we were coming towards the crowd, and we got, you know, maybe a degree or two closer. So I don't think it would look quite so heavy as the last time. But that's something that I anticipate better. Just need to roll probably quicker and more like a more aggressive bank. Maybe a little more pull. The thing that concerns me about the pull is that we have to pull. We have to let a whole bunch of it out on a roll out and then turn to kind of make that whole thing work over the hill. So that might be something I need to fly a reference should have figured out. But yeah, and then because of the attitude of jet as we were coming to the center point, I pulled to the angle and the GG was not super smooth. I actually got it there, but I think it was just a little wonky. So so that's something that I'm going to clean up next time we have you.
Yeah, rejoin was fine. You definitely had more bank angle than I was expecting, because you kept, like, I got relatively in, and then your jet just was floating away from me, and I was like, well, I didn't anticipate this at all. So I brought it back in, and that was right about the time to roll out. And so the rollout was quicker than I was expecting, which was okay. You can absolutely roll through, you just have to call it. Like, if you need to come back at the show site, like, that's fine. Just let me know what's happening. Because, like, you know, at that point, I'm quote-unquote line abreast and, like, I'm trying to match bank angles, so just call it, just, like, give the whole, like, rolling through thing, and I'll be fine. Not a problem. But then, yeah, was pretty much line abreast, and the brake was good, and it felt good. No further notes. That takes us to the Delta Flat Pass.
Oh yeah, one note about the breakout. I know my roll to angle and pull was wrong because I was so much higher than you. I couldn't find you on ground cover. So I probably won't look good. Anyway, no.
Yeah, the Delta Flat Pass. This one was actually better than it has been. I think rather than cutting a bunch of power when we roll out, just keeping it fairly slow behind the crowd is going to work out best, both for fuel consumption and for predictability of how the jet's going to behave. I thought we were in a pretty good place, but we ended up being like... we ended up like needing to put a bunch of pull into it before we rolled out, and actually we were a little close to the crowd. We were a little close because we rolled out at like 1.4, which sucked. So by the time we smoked on, it was like 0.8 miles to center point, which doesn't give you a lot of time to set up. So I think it's probably going to be a lazier turn behind the crowd, and then we're just going to like pull it around fairly quickly and try and get out there to like 2 miles when we level off. But once it got level, it was a stable platform. I smoked us off at 1 mile behind the crowd and then pulled us left. Then we eased it out, and I'll talk about landing next. But yeah, I'll try and fix the rough lineup for next time. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, once I was able to see you, then your drawing was pretty straightforward.
Oh, are you rendering that thing, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay,
right
cool.
now.
Just checking.
Normally I'm looking at like hack view and maneuver manual. Right now I'm just watching it. Let's see. Probably the easiest way to encapsulate this whole thing is just like I've been very uncomfortable on left wing, and the jet's really light and we're flying slow. So I was all over the shop like throughout this and the next part. Just like trying to get into some semblance of Blue Angels looking formation. Because like on the right wing, I go, oh yeah, I'm like, trying to make it look good and get, Blue Angels close and not get too much PIO. And on the left wing, I'm just trying to hold on. So the thing that caught me out the most, the thing I need to anticipate and hopefully fix next time, is like when you rolled out quickly, I don't know how to account for that on the left. So I ended up being probably half a jet wide, and not really knowing how best to work it in with the amount of time we had before we were going to hit center point. And I really didn't want to do anything that would get me to like get any PIO or climb too much or anything like that, which is typically what has happened. And like earlier on in the show, I was having a lot of trouble not like climbing relative to you when we're flying straight level, and like just like fingertip flying with the stick. So I'm really nervous about pitch excursions being influenced by either power settings or, trying to introduce a little bit of bank or a little bit of rudder to try and like scoot back to where I should be relative to your jet. And there was some PIO earlier in return too, so it's not going to look, it's just going to look sloppy. The whole thing's just going to look sloppy. So that's a bummer, and I just need to get better at doing that.
Alright, that takes up to the Pitch-a-Prick land. Yeah, so we got ourselves configured for landing profile, and it's just a kind of funky, slow, descending left turn into onto line. We ended up being about, halfway between the cone center point and the runway. So we were on the fence line for the Pitch-a-Prick to land, which is not the end of the world. And we were a little slow. 10 slow for this one as well. I just did not do the math beforehand as to which angle we were supposed to roll out at. So I rolled us out at 200, and that is tight. It's probably more like 180, 185. So I'll fix that for next time, and I'll actually remember to fix it for next time. Because I said it last time, I didn't fix for this time. I'll fix for next time, and the rest of the landing procedure was by the book, aside from the overshoot, which was due to how tight we were. And the taxi was good. No further notes. I'll fix my safeties. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I just started with flying forward. There was kind of a late stage roll and pull to get online that I completely did not follow. I heard it. I tried to do stuff. I did not do it right. So I was like all over the place, and you didn't even get your takeoff call. I was like, I hope I can get like relatively right spot before he breaks, and I just barely did. I'm glad you called me really close, because I was able to like spot the field and then kind of get an idea of what my game plan was going to be to make the adjustments for that. I think I made good ones, but it also meant like heading around a little longer, so then I was carrying more speed to try and catch up to you, because I didn't want to be so late and like miss the timing of my landing. That also meant that by the time I rolled wings level, I was still carrying probably 50 knot over speed, so then the thing wants to climb like crazy, so full forward pressure and everything. But I was able to get down, relatively good landing, taxi and everything. Went pretty well. The one thing is I haven't quite figured out how to make the math work for the turn to stay. I'm glad you didn't put me on the right wing on the turn onto the short taxiway before we come back toward where everybody's parked. Left was a lot easier to do, but also there's like, what I thought is like, oh, I'll just like stay ahead of him a little bit, and I'll just carry more speed, and I'll just like come around and turn and slot right in. But because we had to brake so much, then I ended up being really far forward, doing basically a straight 90-degree turn, and then having to throw a bunch of power in, because they basically braked to a stop at that point. So I think the solution is probably to be a little bit behind you, and then power up a little bit to turn. It's a lot right in, but I did not think of that or do it correctly for this show, so it's a little minor adjustment that I need to make next time. But I do think my spacing for parking was better than last time, which is good. And that's all I got.
Awesome. Let's watch a replay. So many things that we've done. Time for a replay.
Replay.
It is a flashback.
Of what we did just now.
Unless it's broken, which it's not. Making first step.
I really want to figure out how to get the, now that I've done a bunch of this stuff with like fiddling with liveries and all settings and things, I'm sure I can figure out how to fix the pilot model livery colors for the blues. Just gotta figure out how to do that. But one of the things is like the only way we can get the helmet change is to actually like it will affect our whether we are able to use HMX short of modding. Yeah. So if we want to have like non-mixed helmets, it will mean that we will have to have HMD for shoes. We don't have to decide that right now. That's a whole journey that will probably take longer and be harder than I think it is. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The livery.
For sure. No, I don't want to exit the game. Thank you. I want to adjust my volume so I can hear BrotherLeb when the jets fly over. I don't have to keep telling him to shut up like I have before. All right. I'm rolling.
There's the sideways.
Yep.
It's so weird.
I know.
Keep overcooking these turns.
Ooh, yeah.
Just those last few degrees I need to get out of high gain, so I've got a lot more control. Here we go.
Wow. Sensitive. I don't mean to do that. That was a mistake.
Overall? No, it was on me.
Oh, I had one too, so. Your stinking boat, dude.
Yeah, those were not in the right spot either, so I can fix that.
Oh, goodness.
Where is that? That's what's fun.
F1. Near.
Yeah, we were a little further back, but I actually like seeing the back like being as though we were on here. That's kind of cool. Yeah. This was funny. Like the thing you were doing was like, where are we going?
Well, because we need to go far away so we can come back.
No, it wasn't the farness, so that was a little confusing. Yep.
So,
The way Boss would do it is he would just start like set up really high.
that's what I said I needed to do.
Right on the top of the hill. So
Uh-huh.
just have it there and just like basically shoot for that.
Yeah, that's what I need to do.
Understandable. There's a lot of stuff going on. Dang. Okay. It's fun. It's just so hard because it looks really good.
Oh, why is it above her? Hard's not a bad thing.
Well, I enjoy it more when I don't feel like I'm hanging on my fingernails for some shit show.
I agree. But, hey man, it's the price of flying in Seattle.
There's certain challenges that I like, and there are other ones that are just like when it's super on the nose. I'm not enjoying this challenge at all. Flying home right now is not fun. Not bad. Sounds like, yeah.
Underroll. Oof, overroll. Let's move on.
That is a nightmare.
I am very particular.
All right, all right.
Hi.
We get to see him? There he is. Besides, we can't see a lot, so it goes fast. Yep. Yeah, sorry about the slow rollout for this. I was just
That's okay.
trying to get us lined up.
We're clearly communicating our house. I don't remember that. Like, do what you gotta do.
Keep it right there. Nice. Yep.
Oh yeah, I gotta catch that.
All right.
Yeah, I don't really know what he does. Yeah.
That now.
That's different. He just climbs.
Yep. Well,
Probably so he can save a little bit of gas than I have to.
he at least did that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Did you see the updates about there's some like destructible buildings in the terrain? That's not in Syria now. Or there will be. I don't think it's in there yet. Alright. Also, this is entirely what I feel like is NCUs at this point. Too much crap. I saw you about now. I had contact when I crossed center point. It was looking at you, but then once you started the turn, coming right, and I was like, I don't know where it is.
You're fine. I was like,
Yeah.
can't fix it now.
My timing for that was a little different than normally. Didn't mean it to.
I like got to the knife edge and I was like, where is... Oh, he's not done yet. Well, I can't wait.
Three? What's the three in reference to? It's not three jets to the right. Doesn't matter.
Nice. Little overroll there. Little over... Noted.
about
Oh. Oh, a little bit of lag.
Watch me double. Whatever.
No problem. No shit. Though I got my up we go distance correct.
Nice. What is it?
1.2.
Cross.
Nice for nice. Here comes the chaos.
Here comes Johnny.
A speed to man, I was adjusting everything. Look at this. Smoke on was.
There was at least one maneuver that I adjusted the angle of, which is what I. Nice. That's the smoke on. Smoke on. I was like, oh, this thing's not right. Switch. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude.
So one of those, like, I feel awful about it, and it was like, okay, sure.
I'm still like a mile and a half out. Alright.
Looks good. Oh. Nailed it.
Huh, I overrolled. Interesting. That explains why I ended up, like, having to dodge one of the boats you put in on my way into the center point.
That's right. I didn't put that in. You can't put it in special boats. Yep. Interesting. I thought that was right on. Oh, excuse me.
Meow.
Very cool.
That was a good out from you and like worked it in slowly and I was like, you know what? This is okay.
And even if you can see them for the region, or like the jets are like really far out doesn't look that way. Oh,
I know, dude. I know.
Hello.
I know. I almost got there.
Oh boy, yeah. Yep. Nice job. You're definitely improving that thing. And then that was just like outrageous. Because normally I'm like sort of, there was something I can't remember. There was something I was like, what? And I was like, just my brain was not engaged where it should be. Oh, yeah, I remember what it was. Because you're so much further behind me than I'm used to. I was trying to modulate speeds to get where I'm normally supposed to be.
I'm gonna fast forward. We'll resume right about here.
Alpha.
Yeah.
They always look good. Look at that.
Well, depends on how bad I am, but yeah. I'm extremely picky about how I perform this maneuver. There she goes.
Uh-huh.
Yep, that's cool actually.
It's like this thing will stall.
Break. Fuel. Save fuel. Ah, that pull the level caught you.
Yep. I was right stuck in and then pulled the level and I wasn't expecting it, so it's just this the call. I mean, I can't do anything. I'm on what he tells me, so I don't feel bad about it.
It's time. Out from the trees. What is our favorite plane of all? Huh?
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know, man.
I'm basic, but I love that jet.
That's a favorite. It would probably be a tie between the F-16 and the F-4. And I can fly all of those in this simulator.
Let's see. There's jets I like. Only recently, like in the last couple of years, I've really come to like the F-105 Treasure Chief. I didn't as a kid. I remember I had all these jet books and they'd be F-105 Treasure Chief. What is this jet doing? Let me look. But I disagree now. I think it was really good and the history is awesome. Get out. Slightly before the smoke. Yeah. I don't think the A6 Intruder looks very good, but apparently that thing was beloved by people who flew it, and it's just it's this day.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Behind the diamond as they came across, so they had to go like way up and do basically what we do here.
That's funny.
So they were like right there. Oh. Hanging on the set.
Yeah, kinda got a little bit up there. That was really good though.
Alright, around we go. That felt funky. Yeah, just got a little sucked and had to power it back in to spot. Still a little far back.
Yep.
it in. Oh my gosh, I am ripping over the... There's me drifting wide.
Looks like me. Sorry. Sorry. I think I probably pulled my bar rolls or something. Jesus. You can see how wide I am because I suck.
Sorry, we're doing 310 by the end of that maneuver. And it still feels
Really?
like we were going fast.
Well, the funny thing is, like, 300 knots during the show feels really slow, but then, like, the pattern around the carrier when they're just in the stack is 250 knots.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
We go. Head back to base.
No. We have to, oh, no, you're right. We did the flat pass. We literally just did the flat pass. I'm fine.
Just a reality.
Actually more focused on my dissertation right now.
Good.
Almost done. Ooh. Got a good writing session today.
Very nice.
And I am struggle busing. I mean, when do I ever press this? I've done a couple of shows we got lost that way. And then sometimes there were sites I have on my life. Actually, you know what else that reminds me of is my grandpa's cell phone ringtone.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh. Not even close, man. Oofda. At least I drove it straight down the track, but...
I was just with the parameters of the BSI and camera landing. I flared a little bit, so I was probably only like 750 feet per minute, but
This thing floated for me.
closer to 800 feet per minute, 900 feet per minute when I was crossing the paint. Yes. A little bit narrow. Come on. I didn't.
Your overspeed.
Oh.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't use no here for that.
I mean,
That split. I do full. Oh, okay. Yeah. Curly.
that kid's the best. 8 is my maximum speed up speed.
Dude,
Dude.
my freaking card.
Yeah, I know, man.
Munch 12 speed at 4K.
It's ridiculous.
2D. Granted, the rain hits the windshield and immediately shuts everything down, but whatever.
You lined up with me, but the parallax is wrong. Bastard D-Man. Alright, that's a show.
That was much better than it felt.
Uh-huh. Still room for improvement, though.
Always. I want to play a show that looks really good, and I feel really good about it. And I have not yet.
Not in a while.
One of the other.
It'd be nice if we could get that in before they change the FCS again.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, folks. That's going to be it for us tonight. We've got some work to do off stream, but thanks for joining us. Thanks for jumping on, Peter. And